Hi guys, it's Erica. Welcome back to my channel. So if you can't tell, right now I'm in Northern California. I've officially moved back and I'm just sitting outside. It's like 10 a.m. in the morning, but I wanted to just do a little intro to this video because I'm not going to be using the original intro, and I'll kind of explain. So this video is something that wasn't planned at all. Me and one of my really good friends, Simone, who's in this video with me, decided to record our conversation that we were having, and we wanted to do it almost like a podcast style because ultimately, like, I would love to have a podcast one day, but right now I don't have the tools and resources to do that. But really I think it's just a conversation that we recorded because every time I hang out with Simone, we do get into these really good conversations, and she brings up good points that I never like even considered thinking about. Like, I love seeing her perspective on the things we talk about. But I think we talked about some really valuable things, and of course the theme of this conversation was authenticity, which is something that I value so deeply, and I really want to be like the backbone of my channel besides obviously love. So yeah, it's just very casual, kind of like you're in on our conversation, but I hope you guys enjoy it or find it helpful in some way. Please leave a comment letting me know what you guys thought, and if you would want to see a podcast from me in the future. I am gonna try to like see if I can still upload the audio onto SoundCloud or something. I just love talking to people and hearing their perspectives, but also sharing my perspectives as well. Thank you all so much for watching. I know it is quite long, but I promise there are a lot of good things talked about in this. If you want to share any of your thoughts, please feel free to in the comments below. I hope you guys enjoy this, and without further ado, here is the video. What does authenticity mean to you? Like, why is it important that we bring this up like as a topic and start talking about it more as like a generation or just society?
Because I feel like as we move on through, like as we move up in life, or as we see people become more popular or famous, like that's the one piece that's like left out, and they feel like they need to leave that behind to like climb the social ladder, and like it makes people like that are viewers or like fans of these people feel like so lonely and so just like not normal, because that's
kind of like distant from the person that they're watching. Yeah, because you said like it makes them feel like, I don't know, like bad about themselves almost, because they're comparing themselves and their life to like an image that isn't authentic.
But I feel like at some level we kind of like having like looking up to people that are like seem too good to be true, or seem like they have the perfect life. Like you kind of don't, like a lot of people don't really value being authentic because that's not what's like, I don't know.
Well, I think it's become like a popular thing to try to be perfect, like to portray like a perfect like image of yourself. So when we see other people who are perfect, we're like, okay, that's what we're striving to be. Like we want to be that perfect. So that's why I think it's appealing to some people, but at the same time I feel like now like a lot of people are turning away from that, and that's
it's
why
easier. I feel like it's easier to strive for perfection rather than to like
be yourself.
Yeah, authenticity is like something that's like a trait that's like grown, and you have to have known that and like been through things to obtain that like type of personality. But like it's so much easier to just be famous or to have all of these things. Like authenticity is like rare.
I mean, you can be famous and be authentic, but that's a rare thing. Like that's the point, is like people who do have like huge followings, either like whether if they're like a celebrity or like a YouTuber or like anyone like famous, I don't know if it's out of fear or what, but like I kind of just feel like maybe they are like afraid of being judged, and that's why they don't want to like portray their real selves, because you do have to be vulnerable, and like if people judge you, or like if they leave a bad comment about you and you are authentic, it's like they're actually like saying it about you, being yourself, and I feel like people don't want that, so that's why they like put on this image for like the whole world. I've heard this thing where it's like, it might be a poem, it might be a quote, but it said like we have so many
like different masks that we wear, like socially.
From the 4 Agreements, I think.
Probably, but
Yeah.
the best book ever. In so many different situations, we put on like a mask so we don't have to show like ourselves. And I do think honestly that is due to like a fear of like being judged or like being looked down upon for being who you actually are.
Yeah,
you know?
and it's like which mask is real. Like at the end of the day, like you have so many masks that we're not even aware of. Like when we're at school, when we're at work, when we're like on the street, like we're so many different people. And that's why we were talking about today, we're talking about like Emma Chamberlain, because like she's just new on this like YouTube.
Fairly new, yeah.
Yeah, she's so unapologetically real and like funny, and like she's making it cool to be like that.
I love that.
Yeah,
she is like one of the first YouTubers who does have a very large following, who is making it, I think, cool to be yourself. Like she's just who she is. She doesn't like
care about
crazy
makeup
or like looks. That's one thing. Like she doesn't really care about looks at all or anything. The fact that she is just authentic, and you can tell, I feel like it's starting to show through the people who aren't authentic like on YouTube. You know,
it's different for a celebrity because like they're famous for the roles they play in movies or the photos that are taken of them, but YouTube is like you're famous for like who you are, but then so many people aren't who they actually are, so they're famous for someone they're actually not. I think like that ties into like the authenticity. It's like so important for YouTubers or people that are showing their whole lives to show like who they actually are, because that's like this connection that people like create with creators like on YouTube like is so powerful, and it can really help so many people and like feel empowered and like feel like the people that you would want to be friends with in real life, you find them on YouTube and then you're like, wow, I would totally be friends with this person. But like they just have so much influence on like making you feel a certain way. Like once you are like true to yourself and like authentic on the internet, like that's when you'll find your like real audience who actually like likes you for you. And I feel like that's when you'll feel the best, because if you're constantly trying to be like this other person or like striving to be perfect or put on this image, then I feel like that gets tiring. I know we're bringing up Emma Chamberlain again, but in an interview that she did with Cody Ko on his podcast, she mentioned how like she started off doing these videos that like all the other teen girls her age were making and stuff, but it like she hated it, like, you know, and like she wasn't getting views, like, because, well, I mean that's not the reason why, but like once she started like posting videos that she actually enjoyed making and like she was herself in, like that's when her audience came to her, because they liked her for her. Like you really don't think like I just want to post on YouTube and like who cares if I just have 1 subscriber, like it's for an audience. Like you kind of you're talking to a camera because you're essentially talking to like a bunch of other people, and so like some people aren't willing to like be authentic for that small amount of time to find their like nook in YouTube and then find the people that gravitate towards them, but it's just like all about being famous first. And that's exactly what I was gonna say, is like it like shows who's in it for the right reasons, kind of like, 'cause some people do just go into it like instantly like wanting views, doing whatever it takes to get views, even if that means like not being themselves, or like for the money even, like, you know, doing whatever it takes to do that. But how are you going to build a genuine connection with people like that if you're not even being like you? You know? I mean, it's the dream lifestyle. Like you get fame and like attention and like external like validation, and then you're getting all this money and brand deals and all this stuff, so it's hard to not go in it for that. But like it makes you appreciate the people that are like actually real, because YouTube is like TV now, like that is like what television is, and like you get to pick who you want to watch, and it's just so interesting. And like so many people don't even know like YouTube, like Grace, like our friend Grace, like just doesn't even like, and we're like, oh, do you watch this person, this person, this person? We're like, yeah, we watched her new video, but then Grace is like, no, like I'm just not like I don't know. So it's like, I know, I actually know a lot of people who like don't watch YouTube, and it's weird because I like know all the YouTube. You've been watching it for so long, since like middle school. I was like, what are you watching? Like, who is this? You're like Juicy Star 07. I was like, okay, this is kind of cool. No, but, I don't know the world without YouTube. Like I don't remember it. It's just such a different way to live. Like it's so interesting to watch other people's lives. Like I just love it so much. And when you find people that you really enjoy, like connect with, it's like a friend. Yeah, like, it really is. Kind of sad, but like that's like a friend. But that's a cool thing like about like social media, is like
you can like find someone that you don't know personally, but that just you feel like you connect with because either you have the same like values or like a similar personality to them or something.
I feel like it goes into social media too, because like even just like everyday people, like we still have like that responsibility to be authentic, because like even people that go to our high school or went to college with us, like their social medias aren't necessarily like, and neither was mine, or like it's so easy to not be authentic on
this isn't
platforms.
Just like, we're not just talking about like YouTubers and like celebrities or anything. Like this is for like average people, like anyone, like because even people like I still have Instagram, Simone doesn't. You don't have any social media, huh?
Nope, none. Not for like a couple months.
That'll be a different topic. Obviously I still follow people from high school too, and it's like you still notice they're trying to portray their best life, you know, like it doesn't change just because like they don't have like a large following, like, you know, like it's just this common like theme with our like generation.
So when you see someone else's life on Instagram, like we kind of assume like, oh, they're happy because they look happy. And I was talking to a friend like yesterday, and she was saying like we even kind of think that of ourselves. Like if you post all these pictures on your own Instagram, you kind of think like, oh, my life is good, like look at my life, like I look happy. And it's like you're lying to yourself as well, you know,
you're trying to convince not only everyone else who follows you, but yourself too.
It's so powerful.
That's like a psychological thing. That is so true. In doing that and posting these photos and stuff, you're not only searching for validation from everyone else, like by the comments and the likes and the follows, but also like in a way yourself.
Actually I did it, like this looks good, like I don't really remember, but I guess I had a fun time, like it looks like I had fun. You look back at pictures like back in the day and you're like, wow, like I looked like I had so much fun back then, but it's like when it was back then, like it was just like normal life, but it's like photos and everything, like the fact that it's from the past like just makes you like miss it or makes you think higher of it, even though it's just normal life.
It's like romanticizing like a memory, you know?
It's like the detachment from it. It's the fact that it's gone, like it's like something that you once experienced or something that someone else is experiencing online. It's just the fact that like it's somewhere you're not, and that in itself is like what makes you so like nostalgic or like jealous, like even of your own life just back like a couple days ago, like you're jealous of yourself, which is kind of weird. But
that
like
is weird.
It's like photos have like so much power.
You'll hear people say like, I'm so proud of my Instagram theme right now, like, you know, like people, I don't know, that's interesting that like that's something to be proud of. That's just like interesting how social media has evolved to that point, you know, because at first I feel like it started off as just like sharing pictures. No one cared about themes. There wasn't all these apps for like editing and like all that, you know.
It was like really for talking to friends. Like that's what it was. Like Facebook was just to like post on each other's wall or just to message. Like it wasn't about like portraying something about yourself.
Like I don't know, it was like actually social media back then. Now it's like post
like social
and like get like compliments or like I don't know, like like the evolution of it, and like who knows what will happen to social media in a few years. I mean, I feel like it's definitely become more business oriented now too. Like there's advertising everywhere on it, like every app now has some form of advertising attached to it. I follow like a lot of people who are authentic on Instagram and who like aren't afraid to post like long ass captions, like you know, like I love reading that because it's more than just like a post saying like love my life or like, you know, even though that's, I probably posted that before, but but no, like just people who like post their like creative writing, like poetry or open up about like whatever's on their mind, you know. Those are the kind of people I like to follow a lot. Or people who are just like doing good in the world and like zero waste accounts, veganism accounts. I also think just in general, you just can't compare yourself to other people. Comparison is like one of the most like overlooked forms of suffering for us and everyone who's on social media, because like you don't really realize sometimes that you are comparing yourself to other people. Like you might just send your friends like a picture that someone else posted from like them traveling the world or whatever, and you're like, oh, like wish I was here. You feel bad in a way. You might not realize it, but you feel bad that that's not you and you're not in that place. And that's a form of comparison.
Have you seen that documentary, the minimalism documentary?
Or maybe I started it.
Okay. Well, they were talking about how the opposite of intention is
mindlessness.
It's like compulsion or something. Like, I don't even know what it was, but it basically, like, just the fact that we do all of these things without intention. Like, we don't know what we're doing. Like, we're just, like, we don't open Instagram, like,
it's
typically,
subconscious,
like, for a reason. Like, you just do it because you're bored and you don't even understand, like, what, like, you're letting frame your mind. Like, I was watching Netflix the other day and I was like, I'm learning to be, like, who I am by the people I'm watching. Like, in reality, like, if you can't be who you, like, don't see. That's, like, Jay Shetty, what he said in one of those, like, podcasts. It's like, if I am, like, filling my mind constantly with, like, this person or someone that's not authentic, someone that makes me feel, like, less than myself, like, that's who you're learning how to look at yourself through that lens. And, like, it's so powerful, like, who you decide, just like who you're around. It's like, who are you watching? Like, what are you filling your mind with?
What content are you taking in? Like, on a daily basis too. Like, I think we should start paying attention to this more. You know, there's a bunch of drama accounts on YouTube, like, per se, or like even just TV shows too, you know, and like if that's all, like, you're taking in, like, how are you not going to reflect that as a person? Like, in the
100%.
end. It's exactly the same way, like you kind of said, like, you are, like, who you surround yourself with to some extent. I just to, like, go back to authenticity. Like, if you're surrounding yourself with people who aren't that way, or who I don't know, who just influence you in a negative way, like, that's gonna start affecting you and who you are, and it might even make you question yourself too. But at the end of the day, like, only you know your truth. How would you advise someone to be authentic?
That's like asking, like, how do you be confident in yourself? I feel like it's one of the most like harder things, but I feel like taking a step back from social media and, like, taking a step back from just observing, like, who you're around, and then, like, feeling who you actually are and what you actually enjoy doing. Like, why do you do the things you do? And then, like, coming from that place instead of, like, feeling like you're at a lack and that you need to be like someone else. Whenever you're feeling, like, insecure, I feel like that's because you're comparing yourself to someone that you don't need to be, or, like, a lifestyle that you don't need to have. Like, you're not that. Like, it shows you that, like, that's not you, that's not what you need to be like.
Starting to pay attention and, like, be more aware of, like I said, like, what you're taking in, like, what content, who you're around, and, like, realizing, do I feel good after hanging out with this person, or do they, like, make me feel, like, negative in some way?
Because you can feel how, like, how you feel when you're around certain people.
Yeah, exactly. Not letting social media, your accounts, whatever, like, define who you are. And that's why I think it is a good idea to, like, detox from social media, like,
every once in a while. Like, you're good about that. You do that.
Yeah, I do that. As soon as I feel like that I am starting to, like, have these feelings of lack or comparison, and or I'm on it mindlessly and I'm constantly checking my phone for no reason. Like, I don't even, like, post on Instagram very often because I just don't have time to, like, take pictures and stuff or whatever, but I'm just on there scrolling. Like, why? You know, like, what is this, what is the purpose behind this? Like, what is my intention? So yeah, if that means deactivating your Instagram or just deleting the apps from your phone for a day, a week, like a month, whatever. Social media isn't gonna give you answers, like, to who you are. You can post all you want, like,
look inside.
You can, but that's just an image, like, in the end. Okay, so yeah, like, you have to look within yourself. That's why spending time alone is good
and scary. Like, it's so scary to be alone. Like, it seriously is. But, like, so many people are afraid of it and they never do it. That's why we're always, when are you really ever alone? Like, throughout the day, like, yeah, you might be alone, but you're on your phone, or you're talking to someone, or texting someone, or on Instagram or social media. It's like, you're not alone.
Yeah, you're not.
Like, and you're afraid of it, and, like, no, it's just a trend to not be alone anymore. And, like, how can you be authentic? How can you be real? How can you really put, like, your like good foot forward?
Right. No, wait.
I don't know what it is.
I don't know either.
But, like, how are you supposed to make a good impact on the world if you're just, like, absorbing what everyone else is doing, rather than, like, thinking, well, what is my purpose? Like, what's my message, you know? Rather than just absorbing all these other people's. And they begin to influence you when really, like, to pursue, or, like, to pursue, like, your purpose, or to do what
you're gonna do to like change the world or make a difference, like you have to know who you are. Like you can't be who everyone wants you to be, who like you've been molded into by society or whatever. I think that sometimes our phones are even like comfort to us. And that's why like it's so hard even for me to turn my phone off. I'm just worried that like something bad's gonna happen and I'm not gonna like be able to like know about it.
And I was watching a podcast that was saying like if something bad's happening, like you're not like, if a house is on fire, like your mom doesn't need to call you, she'll call 911. like you're not that important. Like you're not the center of everything. Like you don't need to have your phone on you. Like they can call other people. Like you don't need to be the first one.
That's such a good point.
Yeah, like, there's nothing that like really you need to have your phone on you all the time. Like it's like that's not how we were meant to live. Like, and it's kind of like we're always living in like
so true, because we didn't have phones for a long time.
No,
like there were other ways to get places, to call, contact, get help. Like
it's like a new thing to like have it, and then it's like we're always justifying, well, I just need it. Like what if in case something bad happens? It's like that's the way we live. Like in case something bad happens, like I need to have my phone. Like no, like you'll trust that you'll be able to figure it out.
Yeah,
you know.
So that's what I'm saying, is like we find comfort in like a fucking material device.
Like that's not gonna keep you safe. It's not gonna keep anyone safe.
It's really not, because at the end of the day it's a piece of metal, plastic, whatever this is. But like not to like shit talk on phones or anything. Like phones have great purpose sometimes, but they don't, like your life doesn't depend on it.
Yeah, like,
I guess.
Yeah, but that's like social media and everything. It's like we think we're the center, and like I need to post this, I need to do this. Like what if someone needs to contact me? It's like, why do you think you're so important to the fact that like everyone would need to talk to you or see your post or what they're doing? It's like like that's not what life is about. Like, and it's so crazy how life is just becoming like that.
We do kind of become the center of the world in our own minds,
and we think like we are in control of like so many things that we're not in control of. Like what we were talking about today, like social media and like how people are famous. It's like if you're meant to be famous, like that's gonna happen, and it's not gonna be on your own accord. Like that's not gonna be something that you made happen for yourself. Like that's just not the way it works. But like social media and all this stuff convinces us that it's like in our hands to make this happen for ourselves.
You can work hard, right? Like you can be a hard worker and stuff like that, and like be driven. Like yes, do that, but like at the end of the day, like especially like if we're talking about like YouTube and like growing your YouTube channel, like it's gonna happen when it's meant to happen. Like that's just, I don't know, that's just how it works. Like YouTube's algorithm doesn't like depend on like a certain type of situation or anything. Like it's just gonna happen when it's meant to happen, really.
Like, you lose sight of yourself just because like you're so set, because it's like tunnel vision. It's like, what are you focused on? You know, and that's why like I think it's so important to have like authenticity is like the heart of it, and you create what you enjoy creating. And that's something I've always looked up to you as, is like you enjoy what you post, and like, and people, there are a certain crowd that enjoys that too. Like my mom loves the videos. And it's like things like that.
Jackie.
It's like,
like one time.
You're posting because you enjoy posting that, and then people are going to be drawn to that rather than trying to make it happen so fast that you just want to follow these trends and like get your name out there, when like that, like it's just not going to happen that way. Like that's not long lasting. Like that's not really
sustainable.
It's not sustainable.
And I post because yes, I like enjoy the content I put out there, but I also think it's important stuff that not enough people are talking about. And like this even, it's just like, I don't know, I like this stuff. I love to listen to these like type of talks and conversations, and I know you do too. Because we're big podcast fans. Like we love them. We were just talking about this earlier, how we enjoy watching people who are authentic and do film long videos, just like talking,
just being real.
You know, even if it's just sitting down, like having a conversation.
Love
like
that.
And I almost feel like that is becoming more popular in a way, because we were saying vlogs are really popular right now too. And now if you notice more, like it's like 20-minute long videos. I don't know if that's just because a lot of people want to put more advertisements in their videos or what. But like, I don't know, I also think that more like people watching are interested in like hearing more. And I was gonna say, like, even like mukbangs or mukbangs, however you say it, like that's 30 minutes of footage of someone eating and talking. Like the fact that so many people are interested, like I love them.
Yeah, it's
good because the person, literally those require very little editing, and the person's just having a conversation. You know, you feel a connection, you're eating dinner with them, and it's a good time.
And like vlogs and stuff, like being able to like see the behind the scenes. Like you could take such a nice like edited video of your life and make it look so like just like on a pedestal, and then you could also take a video of just like showing like your day-to-day life, like you like just the outtakes is what I appreciate so much, because it's like, wow, this person's real, they're not this like image. It's like so, it's just so uplifting and like refreshing to be able to see like someone's real opinion on something, or like what they're actually struggling with. Like that's such a thing right now for like a lot of YouTubers to like,
they're opening
come
up
out about like what's going on, and it's helping so many people. And it's like, that's so awesome. Like that is just like using the platform in like the right way, and like hopefully social media will start to go that way too.
Vlogs already have this sense of authenticity, like you said, it's like the behind the scenes of like a perfectly molded like edited video. Editing is a lot of fun, so I get it. Like a lot of YouTubers like to create these perfect amazing things, and it's art, honestly. So it's like there's no like reason to hate on that at all. But it is nice when they have like a video, like a vlog, especially people with a large following. Like, because I don't know, it can be a lot of pressure, and like I said, like when people leave a comment and it's negative towards you, it's like they're attacking you. But I feel like that's when you just have to have thick skin and know who you are, and not take it personally. At the end of the day, that person that's leaving that comment, that only shows a reflection of who they are as a person, and like maybe they're unhappy, so they're gonna take it out on you.
Being authentic about what you've been through, like obviously life brings so many struggles, and like so many people go through the same thing. Like I can't even say how many people this summer have texted me about feeling lonely, feeling anxious, feeling depressed, and it's like we all feel this way separately, but no one knows like that everyone is feeling like this. And if people would just open up and be like, whoa, like so many people feel like that and like have been through this, and like that's what being authentic is. Like being transparent about like what you've been through is like, it takes a lot of courage, but it's so amazing, like the results that you can bring to other people's lives just by like having them know that there's other people out there that like have gone through that.
And like the connections you can like make from not being afraid to share how you feel, and like opening up and being vulnerable like that. Like I just feel like if we all like voiced how we felt more often, there would be a lot less problems in the world. If you're gonna be someone online, be the same person you are to like your friends and family, you know? Like don't put on this mask like online and hide all of that. While it is scary and we do that out of fear, we like pretend that we're happy all the time, like whatever, you know, everything's all good all the time, but that's just not the reality for most people. You know,
like the one person that you could like inspire by like showing that you're going through the same thing that they are going through is so much more valuable than like showing like an outfit to like 500 people that would like love to see that. Like it's just like, obviously like do what you're passionate about, but like don't forget that side, because like so many people like benefit from just being authentic.
So the point of this is just to encourage authenticity to everyone watching, listening, because I think it could really make a big difference in a lot of people's lives in the world if we're just not afraid to be who we are and accept that. I try my best, and I'm sure you do too, like to be myself, and I try not to let what others think influence me like at all, because at the end of the day only you know who you are and what you stand for, and no one should ever like try to tell you otherwise. You know?
Thanks for listening, guys.
Thanks. But yeah, we hope you enjoyed this.
We'll be back.
We'll see you soon.
Yeah.
Bye.